Hey guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And on today's segment, we're going to be talking all things heart, because today's heart health, well, not actually just today, but February is the month known for heart healthy awareness. So because of that, and I want you guys to continue to not just come back to check out my segments, but I want you to live a long, healthy life, and I expect you to share these simple tips and strategies with the ones that you love. Now, I have the 7 tips that I thought were the most important on my little cards, because I can talk and I can give you a lot more tips than 7. So I want to stay on course because we only have a few minutes together each week, and I want you to continue to come back and get these tips. So in a few minutes, right after this, I'll give you the 7 tips. Okay, I'm glad you guys stuck around, you came back. So tip number 1 is to find a fitness routine that you can stick with so you can get and stay fit and healthy. Something so easy as what I'm doing right now, walking. You don't have to do long, drawn out walks, but you should do at least 15, 30 minutes a day, and you can break that up. You can break it up in 5-minute increments, 10-minute increments, or 15-minute increments. And it's really good if you do this 10 to 15 minutes after you eat, because it helps with your digestion. Now that's tip number 1. So tip number 2 would be no smoking. Under no circumstances, no smoking. Smoking restricts your breathing and the capacity that your lungs can expand. So we want no smoking, not even secondhand smoke. All right? Now, that's tip number 2. If you haven't gone to your, actually, this is tip number 3. Tip number 1 is to get and to stay consistent on a healthy routine. Something so simple as walking. Tip number 2, no smoking. And that includes secondhand smoke. And that is because it restricts the capacity that your lungs can expand, as well as your breathing. Now, tip number 3, if you haven't done this, I need you to go set up an appointment with your doctor so you can have your annual physical. One of the things you want to make sure you know is your cholesterol levels, and a healthy cholesterol level is between 200 and 239, excuse me. 200 and 239. And your blood pressure level, and that is 120/80. You won't know that if you don't go to the doctor and have them check it. So let's get healthy, let's know our numbers, and let's do some improvement. You can't do improvement if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're looking for. All right? Simple. You don't have to have a treadmill like I'm on right now. You can go outside and walk. You got steps, walk up and down the steps. It's raining, no excuses, walk up and down the steps. Walk around your apartment, walk around your house. Let's just get going. And anybody smoking, they gotta stop. End of story. No excuses. Now, number 4 is no alcohol. And you're like, what? Alcohol expands your belly because it makes it bloated, and it messes with your liver. Your liver is what removes the toxins from your body. So if that's clogged up, can't do its work, that's a downward spiral. So just no drinking. Cut the alcohol out. And the next one would be stress. Stress removes, it increases your cortisone levels. Cortisone levels affect how your body stores fat. And for most people, it's gonna go right to the belly. So at all costs, first of all, you need to find out what's causing you stress. So I've always talked to you guys about keeping a journal. Get a journal, write down everything that's stressing you out, when it stresses you out. Because if you don't know what your stress triggers are, you're going to be going, I don't know, I'm just stressed. You do know what's stressing you out. You're just not writing it down. Then when you write it down, you say, okay, here are these 6 things or 10 things, and then rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least amount of stress, 10 being the most amount of stress. And then after you categorize them, the ones that are the highest ranked for causing you stress, those are your red buttons. So red, yellow, green. Green are the ones that are, at a value 1 and 2. That's pretty much like, whatever. I mean, they're like low stressors, right? They get a pass. They shouldn't, but that's what we normally do. And then you figure out, is this stress something that I can walk away from? If I can't walk away from it, is it something I can put some barriers on so that when this comes up, I can handle it a lot better? Or is this something that, you know what, I'm gonna punch somebody in the face? So if it's at that point, then you can walk away from it, but it's probably one of those stressors that, like my kids and I always discuss. If someone is bullying you, you could go to another school, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna have that same stressor at the new location. So you have to figure out, when this happens, how am I going to react? Whatever the situation is, I am not, you may feel like this. That doesn't mean you're not strong, but you may feel, I'm not strong enough to deal with this, but I'm strong enough that when it comes, I'm gonna do something so simple as I'm gonna do breathing techniques. I am going to do tapping techniques. And ironically, that's what I'm going to be showing you guys next week. Now, there are a lot more techniques that you can use to relieve stress, but I find that breathing and the EFT tapping gets you back down to a 1, possibly a 0 in record-breaking time. Your health and your well-being is the most important thing. We only get one body. All these crazy movies that are out there, about reincarnation and all, you're not gonna jump. Your spirit is energy, but it's not gonna go into another body. It's going to go back to your maker. That's the end of that conversation. But next week, we're gonna be talking about breathing techniques and EFT tapping, and I'm gonna show you what to do. So, the next one is removing or eliminating salt and sugars. Oh, that's impossible. No, it's not. You got to start reading your labels, because the labels will say something like 3 sugars. Then under that, they will say added sugars, 15. So now you have to add that 15 to that 3. Where you thought you were getting only 3 sugars, which the more sugars that you're counting, and you should only have 12 grams throughout the day. That spikes your glucose levels, and that causes insulin challenges. So you have to read what's the sugar levels, and then you have to read what's added. You have to read the sodium levels. Anything above 250 is super high. 250 that's like max. You shouldn't even be that high. So you gotta start reading these labels. You wanna do the glycemic index. Check foods that are low on the glycemic index, and then start seasoning your foods with low sodium, no sodium, and a bunch of spices and seasoning. That's what they're there for. Not all of this man-made stuff. You can, if you have an air fryer, you can dehydrate your own stuff, and it works just as well. But if you want to get fresh stuff, you don't use it. Fresh is only good for 3 to 5 days. Put it in a Ziploc bag, write the date on it, put it in your freezer. It does not take away the taste, but it will save it. If you don't do that, in about 3 to 5 days, you're gonna look at the fresh stuff and you're gonna be very upset because you've wasted money and the food has gone bad. All right? And then last but not least is getting more nitric, I make sure I say this right, nitric oxide in your body. There are so many benefits for increasing nitric oxide in your body so that your heart functions really, really well. And I just wanted you to check out these benefits right here. Okay guys, so we're back. It's a little backwards, but it's saying Super Reds. Super Reds is where you're going to get your nitrate, your nitrate oxide levels up, and it's basically to help your cardiovascular circulation and your brain and cognitive function. Does have a side effect of increasing your libido, so keep in mind, you want to know what's going on. That's a supplement that's really good. It's in powder form. You see that right there. You can drink it straight, or you can drink it straight, or you can put it in your smoothie. So this company is Live Good. Now I know I share a lot with you all, but I like to make sure that I am giving you all the best advice possible. And with the rising cost of a lot of stuff, a lot of people will put their health on the back burner, and that's something I don't want you to do. This company is pretty much set up like a Costco. You do your membership, you get membership prices. You don't want to do a membership cost, it's up to you, and then you pay customer costs. But the customer cost is still low. The membership prices, most of them are about 80% off what you see the customer price. And so for me, I thought this was a no-brainer. And I'm not saying if you don't become a member that it's not a no-brainer for you. I'm saying for me. And a lot of times people want to check stuff out before they become a member, and that's a good way to go as well. So the company is Live Good. I've provided you guys with a link. You can go check it out. And look, they don't have 9,000 different products which you're going to get all confused about. They've got less than 15 items, and the 15 items work from top of the head to the sole of your feet. But this Super Reds will take care of your heart and so much more. All right, guys, until next week, remember, we're going to be talking about the benefits of having less stress in your body and your life, and then these breathing techniques and this EFT tapping. If you're not familiar with it, this is something that you can have your entire family do, so your entire family can be on the same accord as you, and you all can have a peaceful, quiet, successful, stress-free life. Until next week, I'm Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.